Tell me the Yentas are irrelevant without telling me they're irrelevant. That is exactly what CNN did last night. The Cemetery News Network, they sent a clear message to the ladies on The View. No one cares about you. You're not important enough to be featured on our dump of a network. Just think about this for a second. There's this common misconception amongst lonely women and amongst those suffering through a severe case of stage 4 OMB, Orange Man Bad. There is this common misconception that the beauties on The View are superstars. I know it's hard to believe, but these ladies actually think they're important. They think they're influential. The whoopee cushion, she actually believes that people are willing to travel thousands of miles to experience the toxic winds of her boodle breeze. Son Hostin, she believes that people need to experience the radiance of Asuncion. Alyssa the Farrah Griffin, the Great Pretender. She thinks people are willing to waste their valuable time to see a performance from one of the worst pretenders in the business. But to hell with the somewhat known Yentas. Today, we are talking about one of the anonymous woke welfare collectors on The View. I have been telling you guys for years that there are a couple of panelists on The View who are completely unknown to mainstream America. Even though they are on network television, free TV, these anonymous cast members, they still have the luxury of attending a family reunion and being completely unrecognized. Last night, one of the ladies from The View, she was given a harsh dose of reality. You might think you're important, you might think you're a big star, but the vast majority of normal people, along with your pretend friends in the mainstream media, we don't give a damn about your anonymous ass. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. How many of you guys have ever heard of Ana Navarro? Anyone? No one's heard of Anonymous Anna? Well, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, her distant cousins, they don't even realize that they're related to her. Ana Navarro is one of the propagandists on The View. According to Mediaite, Andrea is one of the Republicans on The View who have been highly critical of Donald Trump. What? Excuse me? What? Did you just refer to one of the ladies on The View as a Republican? I have been covering this show for 3 years. I have yet to see a Republican voice on The View unless they were a guest. And in that case, the guest often gets overshadowed by the cloud of toxic mouth farts combined with the boodle breeze from the whoopee cushion. Calling Ana Navarro a Republican, that's like calling Sean Hannity Miss America. Everyone knows that dog won't hunt. Sunday night, Ana Navarro made an exciting announcement to the 2 million bots that follow her on Twitter. The so-called Republican who recently posted a selfie with the caption, "I love John Biden." The so-called Republican announced that she would be hosting the DNC on Tuesday night. Watch for yourself.
I'm going to be the host of night 2 of the DNC. Every night the DNC is going to have a different host. Night 2, when Doug Emhoff and the Obamas speak, it'll be me. And I can't tell you how much it means to me. For me to have the chance to stand on that stage and help my girl Kamala make history and become the Democratic nominee, it's just such a mind-blowing moment.
I'm sure Anna was excited when she received her invitation. Dear Andrea, but my name is Anna. It doesn't matter what your name is. Well, that's okay. I'm so excited. Finally, someone noticed me. I'm going to be a big star. I'm going to celebrate now with my emotional support toad. See you Tuesday. Yippee! I'm sure Ana Navarro thought they were going to invite her as a host of the DNC, and she was going to be the Republican voice against the Trumper. I would also assume that she thought people would be dumb enough to bite into that shit sandwich. But there was just one problem for Ana Navarro, one small problem. No one knew she was invited. No one knew she was the host. Hell, I would imagine that outside of her immediate family and Todd, her emotional support toad, no one knew that Ana Navarro was even there last night. At one point during the convention, CNN and the other networks, they cut to Milwaukee where Cackling Cam was attempting to wake up a half-filled arena with her uncontrollable laughter. The constant giggles, they were mixed with snores from what the media claimed was coming from someone in the front row. But my inside sources, they tell me those snores, they were actually coming from Timmy Walls, who fell asleep as Cam was attempting to explain capitalistic price controls, which the rest of us refer to as communism. As Cam was sedating the audience, I guess CNN noticed a drastic decline in viewers. Oh shit, people are changing the channel. We need to shift to someone more entertaining. Yeah, CNN, they decided to cut back to the convention in Chicago where Ana Navarro was patiently waiting for her time in the spotlight. As CNN returned to the convention, the announcer, he was introducing Ann to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, the DNC is proud to introduce our host for the evening, Andrea Cesaro. The arena was so silent, you could hear the faucets leaking in the gender-neutral bathroom. Once again, CNN was in a panic. They had to make an immediate decision to get the camera off anonymous Ann and onto someone that their audience might recognize, which at the Cemetery News Network, that's an impossible task because they don't have any stars. But to their credit, CNN made their best attempt to feature someone that people might recognize. At the same time, they completely humiliated Ana Navarro, taking away her one and possibly only moment in the national spotlight. Watch for yourself.
Please welcome TV personality, loud and proud Latina, Ana Navarro.
All right, it's an exciting time here for the delegates in the United Center. Caitlin Collins is on the floor. Caitlin?
Yeah, Jake, I am with Governor Gavin Newsom, who, of course, was the last one to go to put California over the top with Vice President Harris.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Judging by the actions, the behaviors of CNN, they think Caitlin Collins, Katie Roo! They think the Roo is a bigger star than Ana Navarro? The Roo? The same Roo who is tanking ratings in their primetime dump? The same Roo who has failed to draw an audience in morning television, failed to draw an audience in prime time, and was kicked out of the White House? CNN thought an interview with Gabby Newsom, a fellow colleague of Katie in the category of huge embarrassing failure, and the current governor of the People's Republic of California. CNN thought that interview was more important than Ann's one opportunity in the spotlight? To make matters worse, Ana Navarro, she is a woke welfare collector at CNN. She's on the payroll. Her current job title is contributor. Now, what does she contribute? Well, besides toxic mouth farts, nothing. CNN, they refuse to feature one of their own people on their own network. As soon as Ana Navarro was done speaking, which lasted around 5 painful minutes, as soon as she was done, Chucky Schumer, he was seen making his way on stage doing his best impersonation of the dancing queen, Jackie Mahomes. Chucky was on stage doing the shuffle, he was doing the twist. At one point, he even broke out the mashed potato and he started eating it. Chucky Schumer, he wants you to know he's in touch with pop culture. You know, it might be 1960s pop culture, but Chuck, he has his finger on the pulse of the youth in America from the 1960s. As soon as Ana Navarro walked off stage and Chucky was seen dancing towards the podium, CNN, they immediately cut back to it. How much more irrelevant can you be? Your own pretend friends in the media, your own employer, refuses to feature your big moment on their own network. I will say night 2 of the DNC, it wasn't nearly as disastrous as night 1. Things seemed to be a bit more organized. The peaceful protesters, they did their part by protesting into the primetime hours instead of going home early. According to the latest Rasmussen poll, after the debacle Monday night and after more economic policies were released by Cam Harris, Donald Trump, he surged to a 10-point lead in the polls. Now, going into the convention, Rasmussen, they had the Trumper up by 2 points. Basically, it was dead even. Now, he's up by 10. Now, I expect that number to decline at least temporarily because the Obamas, they did Cam a big favor last night by speaking at the convention. Not so much Michelle, but Barack Obama. I thought he was phenomenal. Now, I didn't believe anything he said, but that doesn't make him any less effective to those naive enough to believe him. Obama is one of, if not the best public speaker of this generation. When it comes to speaking in public, no one can touch Obama and Bill Clinton. Obama has this way of criticizing the Trumper where it almost feels lighthearted, but it's effective at the same time. And he has this way of doing it where it also feels presidential. It doesn't feel elementary. Do I think his speech last night has any impact on the election in November? Absolutely not. It'll impact the polls for 24, maybe 48 hours. It might give Cam a slight bump, but Trump, he will regain whatever lead he lost. Right now, the mainstream media, they are trying to portray the Trumper as sad. They are claiming that he doesn't know how to campaign against Cam Harris. Charlie the False God, one of the doofus hosts on The Breakfast Club, which is a good show, by the way. Charlemagne and DJ Envy, they don't know shit about politics, but I will give them credit. They are willing to have anyone on the show. They don't run from dissenting voices. Last week, they invited Vivek Ramaswamy on the show, and he absolutely torched him. But anyway, Charlie the False God, he claimed earlier this morning that Trump no longer wants to run for president. He's sad. Donald Trump is doing exactly what Donald Trump needs to be doing. I'm going to give Trump credit here. It seems like he finally understands what he needs to do to win this election. You don't need to make headlines. You don't need to make fun of Cam Harris. All you have to do is nothing. Let Cam and Timmy Walz bury themselves. This country might be divided on a lot of issues, but there are two things that unite just about everyone: money and freedom. Trump offers both, while Cam Harris offers neither. It's as simple as that. But give me your thoughts. Anonymous Anna from The View gets humiliated by CNN, and she's on the payroll. They yank her off the air to show Gabby Newsom give a painfully boring interview to the painfully boring Katie Rue. Also, what did you think of Obama's speech last night? Do you think it helps Cam Harris? I think it will temporarily, maybe for a day or two, maybe even the rest of the week. But overall, I don't think it has any impact on the election. What about you? Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, and I'll see you guys later.